My name is Andrew Appel. I am professor of computer science at Princeton University. In this testimony, I don't represent my employer. I'm here to give my own professional opinions as a scientist, but also as an American citizen who cares deeply about protecting our democracy. My research is in software verification, computer security, technology policy, and election machinery. As I will explain, I strongly recommend that, at a minimum, the Congress seek to ensure the elimination of direct recording electronic voting machines, sometimes called touchscreen machines, immediately after this November's election, and that the Congress require that all elections be subject to sensible auditing after every election to ensure that systems are functioning properly and to prove to the American people that their votes are counted as cast. There are cybersecurity issues in all parts of our election system. Before the election, voter registration databases. During the election, voting machines. After the election, vote tabulation, canvassing, precinct aggregation computers. In my opening statement, I'll focus on voting machines. The other topics are addressed in a recent report I have co-authored entitled 10 Things Election Officials Can Do to Help Secure and Inspire Confidence in This Fall's Elections. In the U.S., we use two kinds primarily of voting machines: optical scanners that count paper ballots and touchscreen voting machines, also called direct recording electronic. Each voting machine is a computer running a computer program. Whether that computer counts the votes accurately, or makes mistakes, or cheats by shifting votes from one candidate to another depends on what software is installed in the computer. We all use computers, and we've all had occasion to install new software. Sometimes it's an app we purchase and install on purpose. Sometimes it's a software upgrade sent by the company that made our operating system. Installing new software in a voting machine is not really much different from installing new software in any other kind of computer. Installing new software is how you hack a voting machine to cheat. In 2009, in the courtroom of the Superior Court of New Jersey, I demonstrated how to hack a voting machine. I wrote a vote-stealing computer program that shifts votes from one candidate to another. Installing that vote-stealing program in a voting machine takes 7 minutes per machine with a screwdriver. I did this in a secure facility, and I'm confident my program has not leaked out to affect real elections. But really, the software I built was not rocket science. Any computer programmer could write the same code. Once it's installed, it could steal elections without detection for years to come. Voting machines are often delivered to polling places several days before the election, to elementary schools, churches, firehouses. In these locations, anyone could gain access to a voting machine for 10 minutes. Between elections, the machines are routinely opened up for maintenance by county employees or private contractors. Let's assume they have the utmost integrity. But still, in the U.S., we try to run our elections so that we can trust the election results without relying on any one individual. Other computer scientists have demonstrated similar hacks on many models of machine. This is not just one glitch in one manufacturer's machine. It's the very nature of computers. So how can we trust our elections when it's so easy to make the computers cheat? 40 states already know the answer. Vote on optical scan paper ballots. The voter fills in the bubble next to the name of their preferred candidate, then takes this paper ballot to the scanner right there in the precinct and feeds it in. That OpScan voting machine has a computer in it, and we can't 100% prevent that computer from being hacked. But that very paper ballot marked by the voter drops into a sealed ballot box under the OpScan machine. Those ballots can be recounted by hand in a way we can trust. Unfortunately, there are still about 10 states that primarily use paperless touchscreen voting computers. There's no paper ballot to recount. After the voter touches the screen, we have to rely on the computer. That is, we have to rely on whatever program is installed in the computer that day to print out the true totals when the polls close. So what must we do? In the near term, we must not connect the voting machines to the internet. The same goes for those computers used to prepare the electronic ballot definition files before each election that are used to program the voting machines. That is, we must not connect the voting machines even indirectly to the internet. Many able and competent election administrators already follow this best practice. I hope that all 9,000 or 10,000 counties and states that run elections follow this practice and other security best practices, but it's hard to tell whether they do consistently. These and other best practices can help protect against hacking of voting machines by people in other countries through the internet. But they can't protect us from mistakes, software bugs, miscalibration, insider hacking, or against local criminals with access to the machines before or after elections. I have demonstrated how to hack the ABC Advantage voting machines that we use in New Jersey.
He is the bane of election officials because Princeton University professor Andrew Appel says a touchscreen voting machine, the type used in about 10 states, can be tampered with.
I unlock the back door.
In 2008, he demonstrated how as part of an election lawsuit against New Jersey officials. While he notes there has been no documented case of a machine actually being hacked this way in a U.S. election, he says it could happen by simply swapping the machine's computer chip for his own.
And I'll just have to replace this one ROM chip with a fraudulent computer program.
He was able to change the votes the machine counted.
I figured out how to make a slightly different computer program that just before the close of the polls, it shifts some votes around from one candidate to another. And I wrote that computer program onto a memory chip like this. And now to hack a voting machine, you have to get 7 minutes alone with it with a screwdriver. The good news is it's not something you can easily do from Russia.
But the bad news?
But the bad news is that it really is possible to do locally.
Well, the voting machine company Dominion told us the demonstration is not a realistic assessment, not a credible test, they say, because it was not an actual election. But Professor Appel says he's exposed a weakness, and it shows we should vote on machines with paper ballots for proof. By the way, here's the chip. It costs $4.